understand that you are the Duke of ServiceNow. That's what the word in the street is. Tell me a little bit about your ServiceNow journey, how you got here.
I inherited ServiceNow about 15 years ago at the company I was working with, and I was kind of the least busy, least technical person in IT at the time, so they kind of said, that guy doesn't look like he's got much to do, so let's give ServiceNow to him. So I like to think that I am kind of the prototype version of where you can go with ServiceNow, because I went from literally like nothing. I was a nothing person in IT, and kind of look at me now. The platform was very easily accessible. I could build profound apps that solve solutions that were way above my pay grade, and I kind of got bitten by the bug with that, and here I am today, and I love the app.
I'm always impressed by the voluntold story. Mm-hmm. Couple that with, you said you were the least technical person in the room, and look at me now. You are a bit of a legend within our ecosystem, and you have a podcast. You have anointed certain people within the ecosystem as titans. Everyone is looking to up-level their skills and gain that visibility to also be anointed a titan. Mm-hmm. I want to talk to you a little bit about your podcast, CJ and the Duke, because it has been game-changing for me. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, first of all, that means extra coming from you, Kali. And it's not, I can't say it's my podcast. It belongs to Corey Wesley and I. You may have seen his picture. He's like, he's the new king of ServiceNow. His picture's everywhere here. But we've been doing the podcast for about 3 years, and we just wanted to have kind of an honest person's take on ServiceNow. Every vendor's got stories to tell, but of course they're going to tell those stories, right? Because they have services to sell and product to sell, and we just wanted to be kind of a neutral, everyday person view on not only the cool things that ServiceNow can do, but how to level up and how to mature and how to get what you want out of your ServiceNow career. And since we've pivoted more into that self-improvement direction, the viewership has really taken off.
Yeah. One of my favorite episodes of CJ and the Duke is the episode where you did the requirements gathering.
Oh, that was a good one.
I love that episode because it gave a window into the type of work that you would be doing as a technical consultant and gathering and creating stories. Tell me a little bit more about that.
I think where most beginners struggle is that they have an academic approach to learning ServiceNow. Like, what can the books and pieces of paper tell me about the app? And a few years ago, it really dawned on me that ServiceNow is a lot more like a trade or a craft, in terms of, like, at some point, it doesn't matter how much you read. At some point, the returns stop coming in on that, and you literally have to use your hands and you have to build stuff. But then the next question after that is, but what do I build? Like, I haven't been in IT. And so that episode was all about the breaking the IT narrative. It's like, it doesn't have to be IT. That's the miracle of the platform, right? And for the past, that's what I've been saying for the past 15 years. So, so that episode was just born out of a necessity to show people, here's the questions that you ask, even if you're asking yourself, right? In order to find the things that you can build on the platform to showcase all these skills that you're getting.
Yeah. There are a lot of beginners coming into ServiceNow. Yesterday, during Bill McDermott's, CEO of ServiceNow, during his keynote address, a good part of his address, in the beginning of his address, focused on Rise Up, his ambitious, bold initiative to scale up 1 million people on the ServiceNow platform by the end of 2024. Mm-hmm. And I know that there's a special place in your heart for people coming into the ecosystem, whether they're kind of fresh out of high school or out of the military, or if they're midlife and doing a career pivot such as myself.
Yeah.
And I also know that not only is there a special place in your heart, but you actually help folks do this. Tell me about what are some of the other pain points people are coming into the ecosystem with, and how are you able to guide them?
Well, it's kind of dovetails into the last answer. It's really a case of, if you want to get good at this, you have to be able to build to showcase the credibility. There's no way of going from book to talk. There's no way of going from book to resume to interview. And so you really have to build things to, A, figure out the right answers for yourself, and also have something like tangible to project your credibility with. And I think it's not exactly what you asked me, but I'm going to go ahead and say this anyway, is that I think some people have a shyness about them. It's like, well, I didn't grow up in IT, right? Or I haven't had an IT career. And it's, again, you don't need to. And I've always said that some of the most interesting talent in ServiceNow space didn't have that. It really helps to have some completely different background so that you can, again, you can interrogate yourself and you could build apps that align to, you know, all the work that you've done in your past, right?
Sure.
And so everybody's got involvement in social institutions, in past jobs, every level of job, right? I build apps out of stuff I did in high school for work. And so you can really lean into your past experience and embrace it. Don't be shy about it. Recognize that it can be a competitive advantage if you can take what ServiceNow does well and apply it to that past.
Yeah. I love that. You've created a bit of a organic finishing school, so to speak. And you're actually showing people how to do this. Mm-hmm. This being taking those past experiences and creating a digital solution around that. So, bravo to you. But I do want to switch gears just a bit. I want to talk about Titans of Now. Okay. It is on my huge mountain of things that I want to accomplish is to get to a point where I am now a Titan. Tell me about that podcast, YouTube series, and what are some of the things that excite you most about it?
Titans of Now came at a time where ServiceNow was growing very rapidly, and so was the partner ecosystem around it. And so the official channels were filled with kind of what you'd think they are, right? Take the biggest partners who are uplifting us the most financially and give them a lot of spotlight. And I still saw a lot of people that were moving and shaking, that were pulling a whole bunch of people up in their wake and really putting the whole team on their back and running for a touchdown, right? And these people might not be involved in, you know, the biggest top 5 partners. And so the chances of them getting spotlight were kind of slim to none. And I had a little bit of a voice at the time, and I just really wanted to, you know what I mean? I wanted to throw my weight behind the people I thought were, you know, punching way above their weight and moving the ecosystem on their own.
Yeah. Today at 4 p.m., we're at Knowledge 2023. You and I will be speaking to some of the folks here at Knowledge. Tell the folks a little bit about what we'll be talking about.
We are going to be talking about how building a nice personal brand for yourself can get you what you want, how it greases the wheels and just makes life easier for you in ways you can't even imagine. Like, you know, ever since I started getting a more active presence and a larger audience, I find like I get to skip technical interviews half the time. And I encourage, you know, every time I'm up for a new gig or something and they're like, oh, we'll just skip the technical interviews. No, please don't. But I'm glad that you did, you know, and so it greases wheels and it opens doors for you that you didn't have before. And so, and you yourself have gone from, you know, not knowing anything about ServiceNow to, I mean, look at where we are. And so how can we deconstruct that and give you actual tactical nuts and bolts so you can do it for yourself? And that's what you and I are going to present on. I cannot wait for it.
I cannot wait either. Final question. Rob the Duke Fedoruk, what is your superpower?
Irrational self-confidence. And
you heard it here. We're at Knowledge 2023 in Las Vegas, Nevada. What happens in Vegas leaves Vegas and out into the world. And you heard it here from Rob the Duke, the irrational self-confident Fedoruk. Let's go.